Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The capped bust half dollar stands as a cornerstone of American numismatics and a truly captivating subject for our exploration today. Minted for over 3 decades from 1807 to 1839, this substantial silver coin was the undisputed workhorse of the early American economy. It tells the compelling story of America maturing from a young republic battered by early coinage chaos into a confident continental power. To fully grasp the significance of the capped bust half dollar, we must first understand the economic landscape of its birth. Emerging from a period of chaotic early coinage, the U.S. Mint faced harsh criticism over its crude designs like the flowing hair series. There was a pressing need for a coin that could not only facilitate commerce, but also rival the elegance of European currency. Furthermore, the nation was drowning in Spanish coins, often referred to as pieces of 8. While the Mint Act of 1792 mandated silver dollars, merchants frequently rejected them. This created a major void in the nation's pocket. President Thomas Jefferson in 1806 had even halted the production of the silver dollar to prevent it from being melted down overseas. It was into this crucial gap that the half-dollar coin, worth a substantial 50 cents, stepped up to fill that role. It effectively became the de facto silver dollar for everyday Americans, serving as the practical backbone of commerce because it was trusted, recognizable, and heavy. The design itself marked a changing of the guard at the U.S. Mint. The new look was the brainchild of German immigrant engraver John Reich. He was specifically hired to improve the quality and artistry of U.S. coinage, which many critics had deemed crude. Reich's vision for liberty was a dramatic departure, offering a fresh neoclassical look and a revolutionary vision for American money. Reich's liberty, on the obverse, is often described as more matronly or regal, draped in a toga and facing left. She wears a phrygncap, a soft conical hat famously worn by freed Roman slaves. This cap with the word liberty inscribed on its headband was a potent symbol of freedom that screamed, "America equals liberty," in a single powerful visual. Indeed, no other U.S. coin so blatantly weaponized symbolism to convey the young republic's ideals. 13 stars, 7 on the left and 6 on the right, representing the original colonies, encircle her. Her hair curls out from under the cap, and her gaze is strong and direct. On the reverse, Reich also completely redesigned the national bird. He replaced the somewhat rigid heraldic eagle of previous series with a more powerful and naturalistic eagle. Its head is purposefully turned to the left towards the olive branch of peace, while its talons firmly grasp both the branch and a bundle of 3 arrows. A scroll above the eagle's head proudly bears the national motto, E pluribus unum, or out of many one. This eagle was described as 10 times more detailed than earlier scrawny birds. For the first 3 decades of its life, from 1807 to 1836, the cap bust half dollar was produced using older screw press technology. These early coins, also known as the large size era, measured a substantial 32.5 millimeters in diameter, which was massive by today's standards. A key diagnostic feature of these early coins is their edge. Before the main design was struck, the blank coin disc or planchet was run through a machine that impressed lettering onto its edge. This lettered edge inscription reads 50 cents or half a dollar. This was not merely decorative, it served as a crucial security feature. It was designed to deter counterfeiters and prevent people from clipping or shaving silver off the edge of the coin, a common form of debasement at the time. Only about 6.8 million of these lettered edge coins were struck across 30 years, and many were later melted down during economic panics. In the early 19th century, 50 cents was a significant sum. For many laborers, it could represent close to a full day's wage. It had real purchasing power, capable of buying several pounds of flour or meat, a basic tool, or entry into a local event. These coins were regularly used to pay for land, settle substantial debts, and save for the future. Finding one in your pocket was truly a sign of a good day. Because it was minted for such an extended period, the capped bust half dollar was a silent witness to immense change in American history. It circulated in the pockets of soldiers during the War of 1812. It helped fund the monumental construction of the Erie Canal, paying worker wages. It was the primary silver coin during the tumultuous presidency of Andrew Jackson, serving as a hard currency icon during his infamous bank wars. It truly is a coin that grew up with America. The series itself is also widely credited with launching coin collecting as a popular American hobby. Due to the handmade nature of the dies where dates and letters were punched in individually, countless minor variations exist. Collectors began to meticulously notice these differences, such as a cracked die, a re-punched digit, or varying spacing between letters. This systematic observation gave birth to the specialized field of collecting VMS, named after the catalogers Van Allen and Mallis, who documented these varieties. This variety and complexity make the series a rewarding challenge for dedicated collectors. However, the mint's journey was not without its internal struggles. John Reich, the brilliant engraver, faced significant opposition from chief engraver Robert Scott. Scott, who designed the earlier flowing hair series, loathed Reich's talent and actively sabotaged Reich's career, ultimately leading Reich to quit the mint in 1817. Despite this, Reich's capped bust design holds a remarkable legacy as the longest-running U.S. coin design until the Lincoln cents. Counterfeiting was also a rampant problem during this era. The capped bust half-dollar was so central to commerce that it became a prime target for criminal gangs. In fact, in 1818, the mint took drastic measures, hiring YEK spies to hunt down fake capped bust gangs. One significant raid alone seized 10,000 counterfeit, has a stark reminder that this coin series inadvertently birthed U.S. currency security. A major turning point for the series came in 1836. The Philadelphia Mint experienced its own industrial revolution, retiring its old slow man-powered screw presses. In their place, a new marvel of technology was installed, a steam-powered press. This revolutionary technology was not only faster and more powerful, but it could produce coins with significantly higher and more uniform quality. This technological leap created a clear dividing line within the capped bust half-dollar series. This transition was not without controversy. Mint director Robert Patterson secretly hired artist William Neese in 1836 to shrink the coin to 30 millimeters. The reasons for this redesign heist were multifold: to match smaller gold coins and to save silver. However, the public's reaction was negative, with many calling the smaller coin cheap. Yet the accompanying change to a reeded edge, which replaced the lettering, proved effective at cutting down on counterfeiting. The new steam press made the old lettered edge obsolete. Instead, the coins were struck with a retaining collar that at the same instant the main design was impressed imparted a new edge treatment. Vertical lines known as reeds. This reeded edge half-dollar was slightly smaller in diameter and featured minor modifications to the design by a new engraver, Christian Gobrecht, to accommodate the new minting process. The year 1836 is particularly special in this series. The mint actually produced both types of cap bust halves. They continued striking the old-style lettered edge coins alongside the brand-new reeded edge coins. The 1836 reeded edge half-dollar is a legendary transitional rarity. It is the very first of its kind and is highly prized by collectors as the coin that officially ushered in the modern era of U.S. coinage. This variety can command $4,000 plus for AU condition. The value spectrum for capped bust half-dollars is wide, catering to various levels of collectors. Due to the vast number minted and preserved, a common day lettered edge half and well-worn, but solid low-grade condition can be surprisingly accessible, often found for around $75 to $150. Mid-grade examples typically run from $250 to $600, while uncirculated pieces are rare, commanding several $1,000s or more. For later reeded edge coins, common dates from 1837 to 1839 and low-grade cost around $60 to $120, with mid-grade examples ranging from $200 to $500. However, some varieties can break banks. The 1815 2-over date, for example, saw only 47,150 struck as a desperate reuse of old dies. Its value starts at $15,000 plus in good condition and can reach $1,175,000 for 55 Australian dollars, as seen in a 2019 auction. The 1838, which was the first New Orleans mint half dollar, is an extreme rarity valued at $100,000 plus in mint state. An 1838 MS65 sold for an astounding $2,640,000 in 2021. Proofs of the capped bust half dollar are extremely rare, with only 10 to 15 known to exist and values exceeding $500,000. An 1807 MS66 achieved $1,527,500 in 2020. For collectors, understanding the survival rates and hoard discoveries is crucial. It is estimated that less than 1% of all capped bust half dollars originally struck survive today. Significant hoards have emerged over time, like those salvaged from the 1857 SS Central America shipwreck in 1988 and a Kentucky farmer's attic stash in 1964, which contained over 1,000 coins. Most surviving examples are heavily worn, making AU coins rare treasures. When considering a purchase, it is vital to be aware of diagnostic red flags to avoid fakes. Authentic capped bust halves have specific characteristics. Liberty's profile should feature a sharp jawline and defined cap folds. The eagle's shield should clearly display 6 vertical lines and 3 horizontal. All 13 stars on the obverse should be clear and never blurry. Critically, for 1807 to 1836, issues a smooth edge indicates a fake, as these must be lettered. Beyond its numismatic appeal, the capped bust half dollar has achieved a degree of cultural immortality. It was famously featured in the 1948 film The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. It is proudly displayed at the Smithsonian as the coin that built America. It often serves as a symbol of westward expansion, having been discovered in various ghost towns across the frontier. Collectors obsess over this series because it offers a 3-decade timeline of U.S. growth. It captures moments like the payment of soldiers in the War of 1812, the wages of workers building the Erie Canal, and its steadfast presence during Andrew Jackson's bank wars. It's truly a tangible link to America's formative years. When eventually replaced by the ceded Liberty in 1839, the capped bust half dollar had outlived 5 presidents. It played a pivotal role in stabilizing commerce, it defined U.S. artistry, and it remains a vital bridge between colonial chaos and financial superpower. For any enthusiast of American coins, the capped bust half dollar is truly a classic. We hope this extensive journey through the rich history and intricate details of the capped bust half dollar has not only sparked your curiosity, but has also deepened your appreciation for these magnificent pieces of American history. May your own collecting adventures be filled with joy, discovery, and the profound connection that comes from holding a tangible piece of our past. Thank you deeply for joining us on this detailed numismatic exploration.